guys, welcome back to the Paper Umbrella. My name's Jessie and today we are hitting up part 2 of the character dining experience. So if you haven't checked out part 1, I will leave it linked below. That's where I talk about all of the character dining experiences that are actually inside of the parks. In this one, we're going to go over the ones that are inside of the resort. So these you do not have to pay for a park ticket to go do. You can do them on one of your resort days and as kind of like a big finale for it, or you can start off your resort day this way. This is a really fun thing to do. So I'm going to go over those and I'm going to start with doing the monorail loop. So for those of you who don't know, that is the Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, and the Polynesian. So I want to hit those first and then we'll kind of do some more stuff, and I'm going to save my 2 favorites for last. Okay, so let's start with 1900 Park Fare, and this is at the Grand Floridian. This is a 1 credit dining service, and it is a buffet. So there's only breakfast and dinner, and you'll find that a lot with these resort ones, is that some of them are just for breakfast, some of them are just for dinner, some of them, it's very different, it's varied, so it's different. So you kind of have to be a little bit more purposeful when you book these of planning out your day. To include these versus the ones in the parks where you're like, oh, we'll already be in Epcot, let's go do Garden Grill. These you gotta be like, oh, well, we're going to Magic Kingdom on a Tuesday, so maybe we can hit up, or we can go there for breakfast and then head over, It's just one of those things, you gotta think about it a little bit more. But for breakfast at the Grand Floridian 1900 Park Fare, it's gonna be $36 for an adult and $21 for a kid, so not bad at all. This is a great one. It is, like I said, a buffet, and the characters you get to see here are Mary Poppins, Alice, the Hatter, Tigger, and Pooh. So a ton of characters, and usually Mary Poppins, the Mad Hatter's always a blast, and Alice, they're usually just so much fun to interact with. I like this for maybe those kids who are starting to get a little spunk to them. Think you're 8 or 9-year-olds. I think this will be a cool one to go see because the characters can talk back. It's not just like seeing Mickey and Minnie where they're pantomiming everything and you're kind of interpreting. No, they can talk back to you. So I love this one for that age group. And then for dinner, it's going to be $50 for an adult and $31 for a kid. And for this one, you get to see Cinderella and Prince Charming. And I have seen a lot of instances. It is not super official, but it happens more often than it doesn't. You're going to see the Wickeds. So what I mean by that is you're going to see Anastasia, Drusilla, and Lady Tremaine, which are the Wicked stepsisters and the Wicked stepmother from Cinderella. And they are a blast. They are so much fun. I'm going to say this is a good one to take your teens and preteens to. Drusilla and Anastasia are some of the best characters to have an interaction with. They're on up there with like Gaston and Peter Pan. Like, they are so much fun. It is worth it, I think, to have those kind of interactions with them. If you have any single miniature table, hide them, because Drusilla and Anastasia will fawn over them and try to get their attention the entire time. It is such a fun experience, and definitely one that I would say if you can do it with a teenager, this is a fun one. Occasionally they'll have some brunches that are seasonal, and it depends on, sometimes they'll do princess brunches, sometimes they'll do like tea with the Mad Hatter and Alice. I just really wanted to hit up those full meals as opposed to those kind of snacky extras, but just keep an eye out on the website for that. If you have any questions about when you're going like that, you can always ask me, you can always leave me a comment, you can always call Disney and try to figure it out. It's easier to ask me though, I promise. But just know that those brunch and tea times can kind of switch up at 1900 Park Fare. The next one we're going to head to is the Contemporary, and that is Chef Mickey's. It is a 1 credit again, and this is a buffet, and here's one of those places you're going to get to meet that Fab Five again. So you're going to see Mickey, you're going to see Donald, you're going to see Pluto, Goofy, Minnie. You're going to see all of them. This is usually the one where if somebody's like, you got to eat at a resort, it's usually Chef Mickey's character meal. That they're like, you got to go to a character meal, you got to do Chef Mickey's. I will say Chef Mickey's is nice, and like I said, you do get to see the Fab Five characters, but it's probably my least favorite one out of all of these. Yeah, out of the loop, for sure. I think Chef Mickey's is probably one that I would suggest the least. It is a buffet, like I said. Breakfast is going to be $43 for an adult and $26 for kids. Brunch is going to be $41 for adults and $25 for kids, because they call it brunch and not lunch. And then dinner is going to be $53 for an adult and $38 for a kid. And at that point in time, go to Cinderella's. Like, at that point in time, what are you doing? Go to Cinderella's. Like, that's a cooler experience, I think, than Chef Mickey's. Chef Mickey's is a standard buffet character meal where you sit down, they come around, and all that stuff, and you're eating in the contemporary, and that's cool, but the monorail is like right there. But I feel like if you're wanting that experience and you're already shelling out, $50, $53 for it, go to Cinderella's table. It's a lot cooler of an experience than Chef Mickey's is. And the last one that you're going to hit on the loop is Ohana. Now, their character meal is only at breakfast. It is family style, so you sit down and they'll bring around giant plates of stuff, and you can say, hey, I want that, and they'll give it to you. It is a 1 credit service, table service credit. You know what I'm talking about. For breakfast, it is $41 for an adult, and for kids, it's $25. And the characters you get to meet at Ohana are Stitch, Lilo, Minnie, and Mickey. And I love meeting Stitch. Stitch is one of my favorite characters. I know I've said that a couple of times today, but Stitch really is one of my favorite characters. It's one of the few characters I have a picture with. I don't really do character pictures often, but Stitch is one of them that I just love. It's such a fun character. He really interacts with a lot of the little kids. So I love Stitch and Lilo. I think it's a great one to go to. It's got some delicious food in the morning. It's so good. So I'm gonna say this is a good one. Ohana is fantastic. So we're going to keep going to the next one, and this is the newest one I think they've added, other than the one that hasn't opened yet in the Grandestino Tower. I'll fix that when it comes out. We'll get there when we get there. But right now, this is the newest one. It's at Artist Point, and this is at the Wilderness Lodge, and we're not on the loop anymore. And it is a 1 credit meal, and this is a prefix menu. So that means that you're going to pay the same price no matter what you pick off the menu. It's kind of like a cruise boat where you just pay and then, you order what you want to order. But dinner, it's only dinner. And dinner is going to be $55 for an adult and $33 for a kid. I don't know if I've got taxes included on this one. I'm sorry. I can't remember. But the characters that you're going to see here are Snow White, Dopey, Grumpy, and the Queen. And don't call her the evil queen. She doesn't really like that. It's like calling me the evil Jessie. I don't think I like that either. This is a really cool one. The food there is very interesting. It's called Storybook Dining at Artist Point, and it is from what I've seen, it's fantastic. The food there just looks like art. It is just so, like, the cake pops and stuff that they do, and all the different, they serve some stuff in a cauldron. It's just very, very well themed, and something that I'm gonna say will probably be for your not super young kids, but not super old kids, because I think that, those preteen ages, they're gonna be like, oh, this is lame. But I think that like 9 or 10-year-old, 9 or 10 or 8-year-old, they're really gonna love this. I think this is just gonna be a cool thing for them. They're gonna get into the theming. Or if you're going, if you're an adult, I feel like if you want to do a character meal, this is a fantastic one, because the characters there are really interesting, and the food there is gonna be super, good for the Instagram. I know how it is. So I'm gonna say this one's a really cool one to do, and I encourage anyone who wants to do this one or is thinking about it to do it. I've got 2 here that are a little bit different. They're not actually Disney restaurants, and that is Ravello at the Four Seasons. They do a little table service buffet sort of breakfast things, but it's only Thursday, Saturday, and some Tuesdays. So this is another one I would call or ask me about. Let me know. I'll look it up for you if you're going to be on that date. But it is Goofy, Minnie, and Mickey's, and it's going to be $45 for an adult and $23 for a kid. Now, that may say a little high if you're thinking, well, it's not even Disney. I feel like this is a more intimate setting than what you're going to get at a lot of the character meals. It is going to be a little bit different of food. It's just going to be different. So I think this is for somebody who is just not even staying on resort, and they don't have that ability to make those, they don't want to stay on resort, or maybe you're actually just going to Universal and you just kind of want to dip your toe into Disney. I feel like this is a great way to do it. The next one is the Garden Grove at the Swan. And it's a table service with buffet as well. And they do breakfast, but only on Saturday and Sundays. And that's $25 for an adult and $16 for a kid, which is really nice for a Disney character meal, as you've been hearing. And then dinner is going to be order at your own pace. So I can't tell you what it is, but most everything is around $60 and under is what I'm going to say on that. Except for the Friday buffet, and that's for dinner, and it's only $36 for an adult and $17 for a kid. So that's yet again pretty good. You're not going to see a lot of characters here. Chip and Dale, Goofy, Pluto. That's pretty much it. Those two are not my favorites. Those are the ones that if your kid is pitching a fit and has to have a character meal, and you're like, I gotta have a character meal, and everything else is taken. I even tried Tusker House and I couldn't get a reservation. Those are kind of my last ditch efforts for you. It was like, oh, we can try the Four Seasons, or we can try, we can try the Swan, we can try Garden Grove. Those are not the ones I would suggest getting. They're just kind of like there. So I'm gonna say maybe pass on those guys. I don't feel like, as cheap as they are for, especially the Garden Grove, as cheap as it is for a character meal, I just feel like it's not worth it. Okay, here comes my favorites. Cape May Cafe at Beach Club. It's a 1 credit and it's a buffet meal. And you get to see Donald, Goofy, and Minnie. And I love it. And it's only for breakfast. It's the only time they have it. Dinner, no, they have dinner there, but it's not a character meal, just at breakfast. And it's $40 for an adult and $25 for a kid. This is an awesome one to try to walk up into. And the characters are always really fun. This is a very small, very kind of intimate area, so you're going to see those characters more than once at Cape May. Minnie always has on some really cute outfits at Cape May. It's just one of my favorites. I think it's just a fun time. It's a different atmosphere. It's kind of off the beaten path. Not a ton of people know that this character meal is there. I'm sorry if I'm letting your secret out. I feel like I'm letting my secret out. But Cape May is a great one. I think if it's one of those that, oh yeah, I think we want to try a character meal, and you're already down there and you're like, oh, everything's already filled up, try Cape May. It's a really nice one. My second one is at the Boardwalk. It's Trattoria. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm so sorry. Anyways, it's the restaurant at the Boardwalk. It is a 1 credit and it's a prefix meal. It's only for breakfast. It's going to run you $40 for an adult and $25 for a kid. And I'm going to say that this one is for my teenagers and adults and preteens, because the characters there are Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, which I love it, Ariel, and the Prince. This will be an awesome one for my honeymooners. This will be a fantastic one for, any of my anniversary people. This is an awesome one, like I said, for those kids, those teens, because those characters are going to interact with you so much. It is a smaller area, so you're going to see them. You're going to get to spend some time talking to them. I just feel like this is such an amazing one that does not get enough love. I think it's just an awesome one. Flynn Rider and Rapunzel, this is the only place you can really, you can meet Rapunzel other places, and sometimes you can see Flynn Rider other places, but this is a great one to kind of see them both, and I think they travel around together around the restaurant too, so you can talk to both of them at the same time, so they're interacting and you're interacting, and it's just a fun time. Like I said, if you're a couple going, I think this would be a cool one to go to, or if your kid just really likes Rapunzel, or they really like Ariel, and you want them to have that interaction time with them, this one's a great one. But that is it. That is it for the resorts. Like I said, I do have some ones on the parks there. I'm going to link them down below. If you have any questions about Disney dining, characters, character meals, leave a comment below. You can always do that, or oh man, I dropped my notes. Or you can always leave me an email at thepaperumbrella.travel@gmail.com, or send me a little message on my website at www.thepaperumbrella.com, or you can always get my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/thepaperumbrella. I get a lot of love on there. Please come join us. It's fun. I post memes quite a bit. I don't know if that's helpful, or if you don't want to, but I love it. Anyways, we have fun there. But thank you guys so much. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, please ring the bell, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you so much for watching today and just taking some time out. I really appreciate talking to you guys. But that's it for the paper umbrella today. Now go out there and make some waves. Bye, guys.